Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to do some more yoga with me today. I know with school starting and just everything going on, I feel like my head's going this way and that way, and I hope you take this time to really center in. It's just you and me and our mats, and time to take care of our bodies, our hearts and our minds. So I want you to take a nice comfy seat, spine nice and tall, head held high. Let's close our eyes, just start to breathe. Scanning the body. Focusing on our breath. Now let's close the lips to inhale in through our nose and exhale out through our nose. Feeling that fire start within. Let's open the eyes. As we inhale, let's arch the back, and exhale, we round it over. Inhale, arch the back, pressing our shoulder blades together, and exhale, tuck our abs in, round that back. Moving with your breath here, take a few more. Really getting that spine nice and loose. Now let's maybe take it in a circular motion, rotating around in our hips, up, just loosening our body. Let's change direction, go the other way. We tend to slouch when we're sitting at our desk, and it's just really nice to stretch out, work our spine in different directions. Let's find ourselves back at neutral. Let's inhale our hands up, and exhale and turn towards the right, placing one hand on your knee, one hand behind you, and just finding that spine twist. Make sure we're not slouching down, we're pushing up and over. So breathing into that stretch. Just inhale, hands come back up. And exhale to the other side. Using our knee to push our hand up and away, helping our spine to twist. You can look over your back shoulder. Inhale, hands come up, and exhale. Bring them back to the mat. Inhale, come up, and exhale. Let's fold on over here. Walking our hands as far away as possible, keeping our tailbone still on the mat, just trying to collapse over, stretching our lower back. Might feel a little stretch in your glutes. Let's walk our hands back up. Placing them behind us, uncross those legs so feet can come out in front of us. I just want us to take a few crabs here, so we're just gonna push our hands up, hip comes up in a bridge, making our body nice and flat like a table, and then come back down. Inhale once and exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to come back up. Again, keeping our body nice and straight, like someone could eat right off your belly. And exhale, come down. Inhale, make sure you sit nice and tall. And exhale, make sure those shoulders come down. On our next crab, we're going to swing our arm up and over our head. We're going to go up and come back down, switching the hands nice and quickly. Up and back down and up. And exhale, inhale, and exhale. As you inhale and come up, swing those hips up as high as they'll go. And then exhale back to the mat. Let's take one more on each side. And exhale. Last one. And exhale. So shake out those arms. Let's take a few wrist circles one way and then switch direction. Let's come onto all fours, coming to tabletop the traditional way, and we're going to bring our fingertips back towards our knees, taking a nice forearm stretch. You can pedal the elbow bends, and just taking a few more wrist circles here, and switch directions. Come back to regular tabletop. We're going to tuck our toes, hips come up and back. Finding ourselves in our first downward facing dog. Pedal those knees, get a nice stretch in the back of your legs. Pushing your heels to the ground, your hips to the sky, pushing the floor away from you. With an inhale, let's come through plank, letting those hips drop. Come to upward dog, and then pushing up and back to a downward facing dog. Just moving with our breath here. Inhale and exhale. Maybe you start to increase the speed a little bit here, heating up the body. One more. Let's pause here in our upward facing dog. Let's touch our left hip down to the mat, looking over our right shoulder. And switch, now placing the left hip down, looking over our left shoulder, and keep alternating just a few. And let's push our hips up and back. Find yourselves again in downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths here. On the next inhale, let's bring our right foot up to the sky. Bend that knee, open up our hip, keeping the rest of our body nice and square to the mat, giving our hip that moment. And let's come square our hips, swing our knee up, and place it on the mat here, letting our left leg drop down to the mat. And then letting our upper body, if it's available to you, come down to the mat to really feel a nice stretch here on our right side, right hip. And if you want, you can even walk your hands out, laying your chest down onto the mat. Breathing into that stretch. Let's start to walk our hands up towards our knee. And then you're going to tuck your back toes, pushing up and away to a three-legged dog. And then placing your right foot back down next to your left one. Take one breath here. And exhale. On your next inhale, bring your left foot up into the air. You're going to bend that knee, open up the hip, keeping the rest of our body nice and square to the mat. Let's square our hips, bring our knee up and through, placing it parallel to the top of the mat. Letting your right leg fall close to the mat, and then if you took it on the other side, we'll walk our hands out in front of us, letting our chest rest right down if it's available to you. When I'm in a nice deep stretch here, I like to, every time I breathe, when I exhale, I try to collapse a little bit lower to the mat. Every inhale, bring nice fresh air, and exhale, you release, giving into that stretch. And this side might feel a little bit different than the other one, because every part of our body is just a little bit different. Let's walk our hands back up towards our knee, and then press them into the mat to push up and away back to our three-legged dog. And then place it right down for a downward facing dog. Let's take one breath and exhale. One more inhale as we shift our gaze up, bend those knees. Exhale, jump or step to meet your hands. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold on over. Inhale, hands sweep all the way up. And exhale, fold on over. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold on over. Inhale, swing all the way up. Exhale, fold over. This time let's heel toe our feet out to the sides of our mat. Let's crisscross our arms, let our head hang. Let's just start to sway side to side. Letting our upper body go nice and heavy. Letting that side to side motion feel very natural. Letting gravity take hold. Let's place our hands down on the mat, and you're just going to bring your tailbone down, keeping your knees bent, and just come to a sitting position here. Opening up those hips, chest still high, finding our balance. Still tuned into our breath, tuned into our body. Let's place our hands down on the mat to assist ourselves, bringing the tailbone back up, heel toeing our feet back to underneath our hips. Let's take one more flat back. And exhale, placing the hands down. You can jump or step. back to a high plank. Let's take a moment here, really focusing on keeping our body nice and straight, back nice and straight. You might have to lift those hips a little bit higher than you might think. Now let's slowly lower down, elbows grazing against our hips, and then let it all go down to the mat. Keeping our hands underneath our shoulders, let's push our upper body up and away. Feeling that nice deep cobra back stretch. And let's lower back down. Let's tuck our toes, push ourselves back up through a plank, letting our hips go up and back to a downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's inhale, lift our right foot up into the air, bending our knee to bring our foot in between both of our hands. We're going to lift the right hand up towards the sky, turning our gaze to meet it. We're going to shift our weight, turning it towards the left side, keeping our right knee bent, left leg straight, coming up to a seated position, hands in prayer. Let's shift our weight from the front of the mat to the back of the mat, keeping our chest nice and tall. Let's turn our attention back to the back of the mat. Now our left foot is in between our two hands. We're going to assist our left leg with our hands by pushing into the mat as we lift our right foot off the mat, coming in onto one foot. And let's lift our upper body, letting our right foot rest on our left leg, coming into a tree pose here. Taking a few breaths. Releasing our right foot without dropping it back quite yet. We're going to extend it behind us and then bend our left knee so we can come into this low lunge. Hands can now go above our head. And let's twist back around, facing the left side of the mat. And let's bring our gaze to a reverse warrior. And now to a stargazer to the front, body weight over our left knee. And let's place our hands beside our left foot so you can bring your foot back to a three-legged dog, placing it back down on the mat. Take one breath in downward dog. On your next inhale, bring your left foot up into the air, bending your knee so your foot can place between both your hands. Let's take a look up with our left hand, gazing up to the side. You're going to turn to face the back of the mat. Your left knee is bent, your right leg is straight. Hands are in prayer, chest held high. You're going to move the weight from the back to the front of the mat, using the strength of your legs. moving with strength, but moving nice and slow. Now we're going to turn to the front. Again, hands assisting our right leg as we push up, balancing on that one leg, taking a moment here, and then bringing our body weight up, and letting our left foot rest on our right leg. Just a reminder not to make sure it's pushing on our knee here. You can take it on your calf, your ankle, or all the way up on your thigh, whatever works best for you. Hands are in prayer. Another good moment to scan our body, check in to see how things are doing. Now let's release that left foot, bringing it nice and straight out behind us. Flex that foot and then bend our right knee so we can come down into this low lunge. Hands are above our head. Now we turn around, come into a warrior. And then exhale to reverse warrior. Letting that back hand slide down your back leg. And reversing our weight to a stargazer. Let's put both hands down on the mat, releasing our front foot to come back up to a three-legged dog. And let's take a moment again in downward facing dog. Breathing. Tuning in. Let's again shift our weight through plank, coming up to an up dog. And then pushing our hips up and back to a down dog. Seeing how this feels a bit different than how we did it at the beginning of our practice. Might feel a bit looser, a bit more warmed up. Let's take one more, still moving with our breath. Now let's bring our knees out wide, bring our tailbone to our heels, coming into a child's pose. Releasing any tension you might have in any part of your body, collapsing onto the mat. Let's push ourselves up to a tabletop so we can swing our feet out and around, coming onto our back. Let's bring our feet out wide of us, grabbing the outside of our feet, knees coming outside of our ribs, coming into this happy baby. Rocking back and forth, really opening up our groins, letting our legs feel heavy. And then releasing our feet so our legs can come down nice and long. Feet can fall off to the side. Arms can feel nice and heavy. Hands relaxed. Shoulders relaxed. Tummies relaxed. Face relaxed. Just tune into your breath. Letting your breath settle. Scanning your body, feeling it sink into the ground, sink into your mat. Catching your mind if it wanders, bringing it back to here and now. Start to inhale a little deeper. Exhale everything out. And your next inhale, let's bring our arms up and over us. And exhale, let them fall to the opposite side, giving yourself a nice big hug. Inhale our arms back up. Exhale, let them fall above our head now. You can flex your legs a little bit here. Toes can flex up to the sky. We're going to sit up vertebrae by vertebrae. So let's take a nice inhale and slowly roll our bodies up off the mat. Coming out over our toes. And arms back up. Exhale them to the side. Inhale back up. Exhale, fold over. Inhale back up. Hands come together, slicing our face right down the middle, resting at our hearts. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. I hope it helped you slow things down, tune into your body, and just take a little bit of time for yourself. Can't wait till next time. Namaste.